Kyle, nice to meet you, see you. I feel like we've like
Yes. Nice to meet you as well.
ships passing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great to meet you. The thing that I'm most grateful for right now is you and this program because when I started in the fall with the self-study program, it was a bit of a rocky start, but it's been a very long journey for me to get here to even be able to say yes to you and to invest in myself.
Awesome.
And I've been going through a lot of transformation ever since then. And so the timing of this call is really great because I'm actually on day two of the launch of my very first program. And so I'm really excited. I'm also like in all of my feelings right now. So, we were talking about the scariness that comes with sharing, just being vulnerable and sharing content in general, which has been a part of the transformation since the fall. But when you sell, or at least I'll own it for myself when I sell, which is not something I have any history with, it's like it's by a thousand, just amplified the vulnerability. It just feels
Yeah,
like when people say no, or I have, this first day of my launch and I'm so excited and I put it out there and, I don't really get much response back. All of that starts coming in.
totally.
So, I guess like there's all sorts of strategy things we could talk. But I think the thing that I'm most, I don't know, the thing that is most on my heart right now is like, how do I navigate all the stuff that comes up so that I don't get in my way
Yeah.
and start telling myself these stories about how it's gonna all fail and when it's over, I'm not gonna have anything left and I don't know what to do. And
Yeah.
uh, so what could I do? And also what should I not do?
Okay. This is such a good question. First, though, shameless plug. What are you selling?
Yeah, so I am a mindfulness coach, and I'm running a pilot program for a 30-day mindfulness journey. So the program is called the Daily Practice, 30-day mindfulness journey, and essentially, it is a transformation program. So, we are gonna transform your life using the tools of mindfulness, balance, clarity, purpose, all of that comes, and mindfulness is the way that we
I
do
love
it.
it. When does
Yeah.
it start?
The program starts officially February 3rd.
Okay.
Doors opened yesterday and they will close on the 27th.
And then will you tell us the price, or is that something that you're getting on sales calls with people? Okay. How much?
Yeah, so for the pilot program, it's $399.
Okay.
That's half off of what the full price will be when I launch the full program in
Love it.
May. Yeah.
Love it. And how did you get into mindfulness?
Oh gosh, I've been practicing mindfulness for many, many years. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga for many years. And just decided, I've also been consulting for many years, doing workshops and trainings, other things. And I just decided after a couple big fails that I really wanted to give this online coaching a try. Something that I've wanted to do for a while. I just haven't really carved out the time. Had a
Awesome.
baby, got a PhD,
Congrats.
and so now is the time. Yeah.
No big deal.
Well,
Amazing. Amazing. Congrats. Okay,
thank you.
cool. Here's what I'm going to say. First, I have a question for you, and my computer is dying, so I'm going to plug it in. But here's my question. This is no judgment. It doesn't matter. There's no right answer. Can you think of one of your favorite foods?
Pasta,
Awesome.
hands
Why do you
down,
like it? Tell me about it.
because it's always delicious. Um,
Keep
and
going.
I have lots of great memories associated with pasta. I lived in the Italian region of Switzerland for a few years, and so had some very good pasta there. And it's also one of those things that I can make in the kitchen with like literally any ingredients in their fridge, and I can put together something relatively easy, and it's going to taste good.
So good. What is one of your favorite movies?
Oh gosh, this is a hard question. I'll just talk about How to Train Your Dragon 2, which I watched with my family on Saturday, and I literally wept the whole time. I was crying like a baby the whole time.
Yeah,
So
I don't
good.
know that I've seen it. Tell me, like, who's the best character in it?
So the main character's Hiccup. He is, this kind of dorky little kid, but he grew up in a town of all Vikings, and his dad is the chief Viking, and his dad is like this big badass dude. And so the expectation is that he's going to be like his dad, but he is not anything like his dad. So
Yeah.
I resonate very much with the Hiccup character. And he has this magical ability to speak to dragons. And dragons are the thing that the whole village wants to just destroy. That the dragons are like the enemies. So he
Awesome.
becomes this peacekeeper.
So
Uh,
cool.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Okay, question for everybody listening. Anyone here, you're going to use the chat box. Anyone here like, yeah, I haven't had pasta in a while, or I kind of want to see How to Train Your Dragon. I've never seen it. Just tell me yes in the chat box if either of those things piqued your interest or reminded you of something that you once liked, or you've seen, or you've tasted, and you're like, huh, yeah, that thing. Okay, so you're getting a bunch of yeses.
Hmm.
So you sold them to us.
I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here.
So you do sell. You sell all the time. We all do. We sell every day. We're constantly enrolling people. You have kids, yeah? You have a baby.
Yep.
We're constantly enrolling people into our vision. We're constantly enrolling people into our ideas. If your kids are a little bit older, you're constantly enrolling them to eat the broccoli, to go to bed, to put on your pajamas, to take the bath. We sell all day, every day. All day, every day. When you sell that to your kids, eat the broccoli, take a bath, go and take a nap. Why do you want them to do it? What do you know is going to happen, right? You
Health,
know, health,
wellness.
wellness, longevity.
Yeah.
They're going to be in a better mood. They're going to be cranky if they don't, right? It's for the better good, the
Hmm.
greater good. You know that it's the good thing for them. When you're telling a friend about a movie that you saw, a restaurant that you went to, that you're raving about these new jeans you bought on Amazon, you're telling them because you care about them. You're telling them because you know that they're going to like it too. You're telling them because you had a good experience. We're enrolling people into things every single day.
Yeah.
So when you are sharing about your amazing mindfulness program, which is a steal, by the way,
Yeah.
$3.99.
I think so too.
Yeah. What you're doing is you're just enrolling people into the vision of the fact that it changed your life.
Mm.
I got into yoga X amount of years ago. I had this rocky relationship with this person. I went through this experience, and luckily I was introduced to mindfulness, and here's how it changed my life.
Hmm.
And look, I'm not perfect. I miss days sometimes, and I'm not perfect. Some days it's a struggle to even get back to being present and remembering these things and using my tools. But it's not about being perfect. It's about having that tool in your toolbox so that you can pull it out and use it at any moment. That's what
Absolutely.
these next 30 days are all about. It's just about teaching you a tool. It's like, I'm going to show you how to use a hammer and a screwdriver when you're 7. And maybe one day when you're 15 or you're 21 and you're living by yourself, you're going to realize you're like, oh, that's right. I need that hammer. I need that hammer. And I might need to YouTube how to use it again and brush up on it. But I've been introduced to that tool before. It's in my toolbox. It might be dusty. I might have to rust it, brush it off. That's all you're doing when you're enrolling people. And
Mm-hmm.
so for someone who's teaching mindfulness, I would be really mindful of how you're speaking to yourself about selling.
Yeah. That's
So
the
that's
hardest.
one. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on the other side of that, it's the result, right? It's like, okay, so launch started yesterday. Maybe it was crickets. How do you continue? How do you move on when you're not getting what you hope for? Especially when who here has been so excited to tell the world about something and you put it out there and like it flops. And that was literally my post yesterday. I
Mm.
was so excited. I thought my post yesterday was going to crush. It did terrible. Like 18 people saw it. What? So here's the thing. I can choose to take that information, that data of 18 people saw it, and I could not show up today.
Right.
I could allow it to stop me, right? And therefore then stop helping people and sharing my goal and my vision and what I love to do. Or I could just be like, that happened, right? What is the book that's like trending the most right now? I feel like is Mel Robbins' new book, Let Them. I haven't
Mm.
read it, but I get the concept. It's like, let them think that, let them do that, let them say that. Okay, it happened. It happened. I put up a post and it did terrible. It happened. I launched yesterday and no one DM'd me. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So do it again today. Here's the thing with launching. You're going to fail. You're going to have flopped launches. You're going to have what I call silent launches when 0 people enroll. That's going to happen. And that is just part of being in business.
Mm.
It happens. I could like talk to Sarah Blakely. It's like you hear the stories of all these founders. I knocked on 76 stores doors before somebody finally gave me a chance. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so when a client of mine has a silent launch, who here remembers what I say, who's been on a coaching call with me when their classmate has had a silent launch, or maybe it was you. Someone has a silent launch and we're doing a debrief on a coaching call, and I say one word and it starts with the letter C. I say, congrats. Congrats. You got it out of your way. That was your first one. Maybe it'll never happen again. Maybe it will, but you live to tell the tale. I've
Mm-hmm.
had silent launches. We had a silent launch last year of something. People think, oh, you're so deep into your business. You've been doing this 12 years, 8 years, whatever. You make all this money. No way. We had a silent launch last year. It did not stop us, not even for one moment. We could look at the data and go, interesting. Why did that happen? Did we not have enough runway? Was the marketing, was the messaging off? Was the price point off? Was it something our clients just didn't give a shit about? Was it the wrong ideal client? Was it a bad time to sell? Was I not backing it? Did I not feel excited and confident about it? Did I secretly, subconsciously hope that nobody bought it because I didn't really want to run it?
Mm.
Right. And it's like, okay, cool. We just looked at it as data. You have Launch Lab, yeah?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't done that one yet.
That's
I'm
okay.
still working through Empower.
Totally fine. I would say even just the first video on Launch Lab where I talk about being a scientist in your business,
Mm.
watch that video.
Okay.
Watch that video. It's just data. You're just collecting data. The more launches you do, hold on. Everybody buckle up for what I'm about to say. Are you ready? The more launches you do, the more comfortable, easy, and confident you'll feel about launches.
Mhm.
The more launches you do, the better you're going to get at them.
Yeah.
That's just the game. Do you know how many launches I've done? Hundreds. Hundreds. Literally hundreds. So many launches. So it's
Mm.
just a practice. And this is why it's so important too. When you're not launching your program, we want to be launching and promoting our free things. We want to be launching and promoting other stuff. We want to be even promoting someone else's podcast because you're just getting in the practice of sharing your favorite movie, your favorite food, your favorite restaurant.
Mm.
And the difference is when it's ours, we're connected, we're attached to the outcome because it means something about us, because we worked so hard on it, because we're so passionate about it, that we tie the result to what it means about us. And that is a dangerous place to live.
Yeah. So, it was mentioned several times in the comments, but just remove yourself from the outcome, I think is going to be like, my mantra for the next couple weeks.
But that is so much easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. For
That is
sure.
so much easier said than done. And the problem is, this is where I think sometimes success is the worst teacher,
Mhm.
because we've done launches where we do 4 days for the cart's open for 4 days for Empower. And day one will come in and it'll be a six-figure day. Six-figure day. Pretty cool. Day one, a lot of people join. Day two, we'll have like 2 sales.
Mhm.
I'm not kidding. This happens every time. And we're like, oh my God, how do you keep going? How do you not let that affect you emotionally and mentally? How do you not let that mean something about you that, well, then everything's going to go to shit and it's not going to work and we're going to come out the other end and it's going to be terrible. It's going to be our worst launch yet.
Mhm.
It's the practice of detaching is really difficult. And it's that faith, that surrender, that unwavering belief of just, it will be what it will be. And how do you, so you don't have control over the result, right? But we have control over how we react and we have control over how we show up. So if you're committing to yourself to show up through the launch, despite however it looks, then that's all that
Mhm.
you need to do. And it's reminding yourself every single day that I committed to this. And if I committed to this, am I going to show up half-ass, right? It's so easy when you didn't make a sale, somebody said no to you, nobody reached out and DM'd you when you told them to, like, that was the call to action. It's so easy to not do the stories the next day or put the post up because you're like, no one even saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Compound effect. If you say that every day and for the 4 or 5 days your cart is open, you don't show up, right? You're not going to get that result. So it's like, how do we sprint through the finish line? How do we just keep going, not worrying about who says whatever they say? And at the end of it, did you go all in? Did you show up every day? Did you put up the post? Did you follow up with people? Did you shake it off when somebody said no to you, not take it personally, but look at a data-driven way and go, okay, this is interesting. What happened? How can I make it better? Did you make tweaks on the fly? And most importantly, were you taking care of yourself?
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
worked with thousands of entrepreneurs, and you know what usually happens in launch? Coffee becomes a meal, sleep is not available to us, stress is ultimate high, and we don't take care of ourselves, and it's impossible to show up. So, are you working out? Are you doing your mindfulness practices? Are you spending time with your family? Are you putting the phone down and just like taking a break,
My 6-year-old the other day said, Dad, you should be spending more time with your family than on your phone. And I was like, oh, that's like a dagger in my heart, but it was a good reminder, like put it down, put it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Especially because a lot of times what we're doing is not income producing. It's not needle moving. It's like comparing, looking for inspiration,
doom scrolling, it's, yeah, totally.
and scrolling. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, keep us posted. We're cheering you on.
I
I'm
will.
excited for you.
I will. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful.
Until next time, cheers to your evolution.